there is a lot happening in this video, so make sure you do watch as much of it as you can, because there's going to be a lot of changes. These are my breeding birds. I've moved birds in and out. We will have a look at these not in today's video because I've still got some sorting to do. So basically I'm going through, we're making some very, very big and like they're massive changes. Probably the biggest changes we've had on this property since we've actually moved out here. It's been about 3 years. This is our 3rd season trying to race here. And as you know, absolute nightmare. It's near impossible to race here. The quality of the birds is good, no doubt about that. We've had some of the most fantastic one loft results since we've been here. And when the birds do get that opportunity, they do quite well. The last 2 races we had a couple of weekends ago, 13th, 19th fed 1st and 2nd club. So the birds do perform well when they get that window of opportunity. But yes, definitely makes it very difficult. So I have started making some very big changes. You guys know that I have been talking about just waiting some birds to come back, thinning out my stock birds, but I've taken the past basically 2 weeks, because I haven't really posted anything, sitting down, having a little bit of a think about what I want to do. I can't keep just trying to chip through like we have and trying to have some really good results in the race season. Every single race just doesn't work. We get absolutely hammered out here. It's a nightmare. So, and it has, trying to push through that and to get some really good race results have it's definitely taken its toll on me. Like, it's really pulled the enjoyment out of the birds. So I'm I took those 2 weeks to think what I really want, and I'm kind of taking a little bit of a step back from racing, because I really just want to go back to enjoying the bird. It's taken a lot of enjoyment out of keeping the pigeons for me, and that's the main reason I keep it, because I just really enjoy keeping those birds. And just trying to race, I'm still waiting for these birds to come back. I don't know where they are. It was just a short toss, but the falcons have absolutely been killing me. It's been really, really bad. I thought, well, normally we have a lot of rain. And if you've seen my video before this, you've seen my little pond I'm digging. Normally down there's probably like half a foot underwater. So we've hardly had any rain this year. I'm still sitting at probably just over a quarter in my rain tank that I use for the house. So yeah, it's the falcons. I don't know what's going on. There's just not many water birds around. The big peregrines been absolutely smashing us. So yeah, it's been really tough. So I'm still in the process of kind of figuring out what I want to do, but my first step is to start to thin out through the stock birds. I've got it down to about 6 or 7 pairs. I've got them in the boxes. I've kind of paired them up, but I do kind of want to take the bulls out shortly so I don't lay, just until I'm 100% on who that I want to keep and whatnot. But I've got it down to around about 7 pairs. I'd ideally like to go down to 6. If I go down to 4, I would love to, but it's very difficult because of the quality of the birds there. Like, we're getting rid of really good birds that have produced some sensational pigeons and one loft and local racing results. But I kind of want to go back and just enjoy the birds again, like enjoy keeping them and actually enjoy coming out here, and not have that stress of obviously young family and everything else going on. But it's just really tough. There's so much pressure to get these birds into condition to be competitive with everyone else when we just can't get them loft flying. We probably get 1 or 2 minutes around here, they get smashed. We start tossing them, even the short tosses, they're coming back ripped apart, lost feathers, all that kind of stuff. Even the last race that we come back from, I think had 3 birds come back with pretty much no tails. So that rules those birds straight out. So yeah, it just gets tough. So I'm kind of just taking a step back, sorting through the stock birds. I've got a mix of the very best one loft pigeons, and then I'm starting to pick out the birds that have bred good local pigeons, and I'm also going to move in pigeons from my race team that have done really well, which I'll show you. One of those hens who's only raced 2 races, but she got me 13th and 19th fed 2 weeks in a row and only 2 races. So that's the type of pigeon I like, as well as the mealy hen. And we got the black cock as well. He's not super fast. He's a little bit inconsistent, but we've still got him, and he still seems to I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because he's black and he seems to blend in. But that's another thing that I'm working on. I've started a new project like a month or so ago. We've got some babies there to show you guys that something else I'm testing, whether that real dark, dirty kind of coloration is beneficial for dealing with the pressure that I've got. I think it has, because you'll notice over the last couple of seasons, any pigeon with white on it is first to go. With the Thai grizzles couldn't make it past loft flying here. They were saying with their white pigeons, the white flight or pied pigeons don't make it generally to the first race. They won't make it past 20 kilometers. But then you'll have a look at all my race birds in here. So these are all race birds, most of them. No, they all are. They definitely all are. So that's all that's left. There was a whole bunch of young birds in here. I took them for a short toss. They're a little bit slow to come back. But you'll notice they're all blue bars or checkers or quite dark. There's no white on them whatsoever. So I'm going to experiment with that a little bit. I love colors and I really don't want to believe it. But I can only look at the results and the data and kind of, that's basically telling me that those type pigeons don't do too well here. So that's another thing I'm going to do. I'll show you those in a minute. But let's first have a look at this little hen and kind of see what the kind of pigeon I'm looking for, which is that kind of hen. Let's just grab her. She's quite a feisty little fast thing. But there is pigeons that can handle living out here, surprisingly. And this is one of them. So I only bred 4 this way. Her father last year was an actual ex-race bird, and I lost him in the first race this season. That was a disaster race anyway for everyone in my club. But this little hen, she's sensational. I actually bred 4. 2 were cocks, 2 were hens. I lost the cocks around the loft here. They were really odd. They were just that type of naughty pigeon that no matter how much I starve them out, you can't starve pigeons out here because I live in the middle of the countryside and they just go and eat what they want anyway. So they always come back in with full crops no matter what you do. So disobedient pigeons generally don't last too long out here. And I know a lot of people probably say, oh, you can starve them, break them and all that kind of stuff. And last few years I've tried everything. And when you live somewhere, especially where I am, there is just food all year for them to eat, and that's what they were doing. So this hen is one of the 4 that lasted. One of the little hens, I think she might have had a bit of a rough trot. Let's get him in the camera a bit, but she's a very fantastic pigeon. So the mother of this one is New Moon. So I've got that. She was a dark checker, but she molted out. And these are actually part of my dirty project that I'm working on, which I haven't really talked about, but we've kind of gone around it a little bit. But she was 13th fed and 19th fed. Both of those were headwind races as well. So it was like a headwind sprint races. And she did it. And being like headwind races for someone like me all the way down here, having to fly 50 to 100 kilometers more than most of the Federation, I'm pretty happy with that. So this is the type of bird that I like. Look at the muscles on her. So, and you'll notice that she's quite a dark checker as well. It runs in her blood. So her father was a grandson of Shock. He was bred out of a daughter of Shock. So there's also some of that really good Staff Van Reed in there. And also this one's a granddaughter of Checkmate, who's one of those cocks that I always talk about who breeds some pretty good pigeons. He'll definitely be paired up to the mother of this at some point to see if we can like consolidate some of that genetics and bloodlines at some point. But look, we live in a terrible spot, but I love it out here, and it's going to take me a while to try and figure out some pigeons that can actually really handle living out here. She's a beautiful pigeon. Like, I don't know what it is. She's just like fantastic little pigeon. So I'm definitely going to keep the mother of hers. I have paired her back up to a different cock because I lost the cock of that one, but we will rotate the mother of this through a few different ones. But she's a beautiful little hen, that one. So definitely that's the type of hen that we will move into the stock loft. Well, we'll probably race her again, but I definitely want to do a little bit of breeding off her. And I'm still a little bit the big boy. This is Black Titan. So he's the only son out of Titan that ever done anything for me. He's been clock bird a few times. He's generally pretty slow. We'll clock him in, I think one year we clocked him at 62nd, and the next year, which is this year, we might have been 63rd or something. So he's a little bit slow, but he seems to make it back. And the lost bird officer knows this guy pretty well because he's been reported like 3 times. He just goes to different lofts where he wants to. But there's something there. I just need to figure out whether we pair him up with like the hen we just seen. She's old enough to breed, so you know we could pair her up. She's really good on the far or headwind races, but the short ones. Where this guy, I don't know where he sits. He's just a little bit slow, but he's consistent. So that could be an interesting pairing. We'll just wait and see. But I'm going through like a massive decoy. I've got probably 25 or so pigeons at the moment in my other loft around the corner that I don't show anyone because that's kind of off camera where I just hold birds, but there's a lot in there that I need to sort through. So this one's actually off the Tiger Grizzles too. So I couldn't get any of the actual Tiger Grizzles to do anything apart from this guy, probably because I actually had a black one the same way bred as this that made it out to 200 and something kilometers. So I'm not saying the white's no good. I'm not just saying that, but I can only race what birds are left, and it's generally these really dark colors. We did have Speedy Blue one time do okay, but that was a little bit different circumstances because we jumped him out into those big races. But he's definitely got the big Titan kind of look. He's got that beautiful eye and starting to get a bit bigger waddle there too as he gets a bit older. So we may look at breeding him. All right, there's my first bird back from that toss. That's a smash toss. That was only a short one too, so we'll have a look and see who that is. Looks like one of my mealies. So my reds, my ash reds, not my recessive reds, which are off someone else, actually do quite well. So let's have a little bit of a look here. Just because it looked like a mealy, and I've only got one mealy. Oh no, it actually is a red, but it's a red checker. Come on. That's off my mealy hen. So my mealy hen was probably one of my best racing pigeons that I bred here. And she bred me a few clockbirds too. So this is what I'm saying is we really just need to reduce as many pigeons as we can and just narrow down that focus into these pigeons that for some reason seem to do it. And the reddish color pigeons seem to, whether or not, like generally this is all brown, maybe they just blend in a bit better. But look, he's not even coming in. That little guy's petrified. There's still a lot of birds to go. So we'll see. Come on, buddy. Did I just hear another one? No, that's the ones on this perch. So, so that's kind of where we're at. I am half debating actually pulling down all of my lofts. I've got 3 and combining them into one loft. I was thinking about having 2 sections like this, building a new trapping section and then having 1 section for breeding. So it'll be a 3-section loft. Basically, we'll be able to fit 25 birds each side, which is similar to what we fly anyway. But I want to have graded flooring through the whole thing. There's just a few little issues I want to fix, which is obviously I don't want the birds pecking around on the ground like they do. I want it like this. That's hopefully something that might benefit the bird's overall health. So we'll see. I'm just considering. I haven't really decided yet because this was always like a temporary loft. So we may look shortly doing that. I do have these 2 in this side. I'll bring them out. I just sort of put them in there. Come on. There's a lot of talking in this. I did warn you it's going to be a big video because there's obviously a lot to catch up on. I've had a lot to think about, and I do really want to narrow down this focus into these pigeons. Predominantly they can race here. I feel like if they can do well here, then they can do well everywhere. We've obviously got, haven't got through, I've just been doing some cleaning and tidying up in here. I've got 2 hens in here. You'll see Stealth at the back. One of you guys actually named her. She was one of our entries into the one loft and she was 7th in the final. The only problem with her, I haven't been able to get her to lay eggs that are fertile. They're a weird chalky kind of porcelainy sound and they're a little bit rough, so I'm not sure what it is. I've tried treating her for whatever I can. we may have to look at giving her some, I don't know, something. We're doing some dropping samplings or something like that. And we've got this hen here. She's my short-legged hen. I call her that because she's got these little short legs. But I've only bred 4 out of her. 2 went to the hop auctions. And 2 went to Meadow 1 Loft race, and I'm pretty sure both those babies made it into the final as well. So some interesting genetics there. So I've actually got a couple of babies in here that I'm going to have a bit of a play with myself. These are my really little babies, and actually my dirty projects in here as well, which you'll probably notice by them really dark ones. Come here. Well, still a little bit, yeah, they're pretty young, these ones. So let's have a look at the dirty ones so you can have a bit of understanding what I'm talking about. So I'd say those toss birds have been hit. That one's really scared, he's not coming in, and the rest will probably find their way back later on today. But let's have a look at these little guys. So the mother was a dark checker. That was New Moon when she first came here, but she molted out into kind of like a little pencil-y kind of stenciled thing. But the father is a dark check. They're all getting crazy excited back there. Can you hear them? What are you doing? I think I'm going to feed them. But these are half brothers and sisters, half siblings to the other hen I just showed you, the one that got 13th and 19th. And they're not too bad at pigeons, but these are part of the dark project that I'm working on, which the father and mother, the mother bred that hen, and the father is the dark check in there who flew out to 900 kilometers or whatever. You all know that dark check, but he got a couple of really good Federation places as well. But the father to this one's nestmate sister also got a couple even better positions in that first year. So pretty consistent, a lot of dark in them. You'll see I really like this flecking underneath too. I hope that continues. That's pretty cool. I'm just testing. I want to experiment a bit. I don't have the time to be flying 200-300 pigeons, which you probably need to be competitive out here anyway. But what's that pigeon doing? It does not want to come in, so I'm really concerned that we've had a significant falcon meet up. But the falcons here have been eating all the coloured parrots, so I've been trying not to let the birds out too much, but they're still getting hammered. But yeah, look at that. Even how dark are those feet? So this is my dirty project. I don't know if that's the right name. We might call it the dark project or something, but we're working on that. I'll show you the mother and father this one in a couple of days and just see. It may or may not work, but the genetics in these are still pretty good anyway, so they should be reasonably competitive. At the end of the day, falcon's still going to eat them, but whether or not we yeah, we'll see. We're still going to lose them regardless, but I'm hoping to minimize those ones. And this is the hen. So this is essentially some of my good 1 Loft results paired into the hen in there that a short-legged hen who bred me 2 that were really consistent. But these things are really white, and it's probably a little bit too white for out here, but we'll see. We'll give them a fair chance. So I do want to test them to see whether or not the mother of these are worth keeping. So yeah, we've got a tough few weeks of decisions. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. Hopefully there's actually quite a lot of birds that haven't made it back so far. So they've only been gone an hour, so we'll see. Oh, here he comes. Come on. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Well, you made it back. That's 1. He looks a bit scruffy though. You haven't run into too much trouble out there, hopefully. Oh, we'll see. I will keep you updated on these, how these guys come through. But stay tuned. A lot of decisions to make. I do want to consolidate the really good performing genetics into like a very small family. Try not to bring any more new birds, and then try and just breed them all together until we've got to a point where we can start bringing in birds, and we might just bring in like 1 bird every year and spread it around, see what works. If it works, you know, that kind of thing. Historically, we've opened the doors to too many birds. and that's definitely a problem. So hopefully that's a lesson for a lot of people, especially the new guys starting up. But yeah, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much, because it's there's going to be a few more videos like this. There's a lot to talk about before, especially if we decide to combine all these lofts into one, start again, essentially. But yeah, stay tuned. I won't go on too much. See you very soon.